like the plus record that she does against the men, she can prove her weight and hold.
When she comes out here, very enthusiastic. What she'll be shown by the debut gathering. She'll roll up in the mud. Get someone with the standards of the angel. Isn't going anywhere here.
Angel clearly can hold her own in the ring against men or women.
Oh my good lord!
Using me, telling you,
Level up. Look at that strength! Down the
short fuse.
Kylie might need to consult. She's in a lot of trouble. Wait a minute! What the hell is he doing here? What the hell is he doing here?
I think people's
We
good match. And now, look at this. Kylie Rae and Angel working together at Peebles.
At the middle of a pong game. Oh my.
Ring debut of
It's happening sooner than you think. Saturday night, June the 24th, it's the return of Crash Tested Wrestling, live at the Don Preston Rec Center in Midlothian, Illinois, 7 p.m. start time. All the action is available live, online, directly, LRPlive.tv. You can see the entire live event for $4.99, and already a few matches have already been announced for that extraordinary live event, leading up to July's biggest event of the summer for Crash Tested Wrestling, Ground Zero. The new general manager of Crash Tested Wrestling, Aaron Xavier, has really painted Brubaker into a corner now. Everyone knows that Brubaker is the current CTW heavyweight champion, but now the odds are definitely stacked against him, because what's going to happen at CTW's Collision Course? Aaron Xavier is forcing Brubaker to defend the CTW World Heavyweight Championship, not up against one man, not two, but three opponents all at the same time. We're talking about Jason Hades, Mr. 3% John Hudson, and Jake Parnell. We're talking about three of the elite individuals within all of independent professional wrestling in the Midwest, all in one match against Brubaker, and Brubaker doesn't have to be pinned or submitted in that match to lose his championship. What are the odds of him winning the bout or retaining the championship under those circumstances? And then to top it all off, what will go down July the 29th? Ground Zero, and at CTW's biggest event of the summer, whoever comes out of that four-way match with the CTW Heavyweight Championship will face Alberto El Patron for the championship. So the odds are stacked against Brubaker. He must continue to win or he will be fired. What are the chances that he's going to be able to survive the summer as the CTW Heavyweight Champion? Slim and none, in my estimation. Jake Andrews, by hook or by crook, is still the CTW Tri-States Champion. And coming up at CTW's Collision Course, it's already been announced, he will be involved in a championship bout. And he has already said that he's a defending champion, and I give him credit, all the credit that he deserves, for wanting to put the championship on the line against anybody and everybody. But he's got to defend the title against two of the toughest veterans throughout the entire Midwest. And we're talking about the Redneck Waylon Beck, and then he also has agreed to take on the greatest spectacle in professional wrestling, DDS. And in this triple threat match, anything is possible. And again, much like in Brubaker's situation, Jake Andrews is in a tough spot because he doesn't have to be pinned or submitted to lose the championship. And although he has successfully defended the title in a multiple man situation in the past, this one's even more troubling. DDS is the perfect backseat driver. You saw what he did at Reality Check to Jake Lander. I have a funny feeling that what's going to happen to Jake Andrews at Collision Course is DDS is going to watch the entire movie as a landscape until he sneaks right in and tries to get the big win on Jake Andrews to walk away at CTW's Collision Course with the CTW Tri-States Championship. It's happened every single time thus far. When the Survivor Barry Wright issues that Survivor Challenge, nobody has been able to answer it successfully, not with their hand raised, because the Survivor Barry Wright is tired of being held down. He doesn't want to be a second-rate player. He is one of the top elite performers, and he continues to break people down piece by piece until he gets what he wants, and I predict that another challenge will take place at CTW's Collision Course. There are huge problems within the plate. We're talking about Brutus Owen Wesker and Fallout Ace Bradley. They have lost tag team matches. They are not seeing eye to eye. They can't get on the same page. They lost to the Rage at Reality Check, and then Ace Bradley did the unthinkable. He attacked BOW from behind and almost laid them out for good and forever. It seems to me as though there is no turning back. These two have had opportunity after opportunity to figure out what their differences are and to get things straightened out, but it hasn't happened yet. What will happen at CTW's Collision Course when the two of them are in the same building at the same time once again to try to remedy or try to destroy one another and their potential futures? The most fascinating division in all of crash-tested wrestling has got to be the women's division. I mean, with all of the interferences and with all of the women involved and their personalities and everything going over the top and going just a little bit too far, and sometimes with controversial conclusions, I have a feeling that at Collision Course, it is going to be the ultimate challenge for Aaron Xavier as the general manager to figure out the ideal solution to deal with these intangible elements. How hard can it be for Jack Moody as he is going to continue to try to convince DOJ the situation to wear new articles of clothing, to be a refined human being, to be a decent member of society? But Jack Moody, don't take it too far because you have no idea what you're messing with. I mean, DOJ's been from a prison environment in the past, and the things that he has done in prison in comparison to what he's done in civilization, I don't think you want to trash talk this guy because DOJ has no problem placing his fist in your face, knocking you down. I know that you're 6'9" and 345 pounds and that you're making gains in the gym on a regular basis, but you're not Mr. Gaines. And Jack Moody, with DOJ as a potential partner, you have to watch your back at all times. I'm glad you have protection, but what's going to happen at Collision Course if and when you two have to encounter a Jared Priest, a man that is totally out of control, who has no sense of cooperation, who loses his mind with ease, swings a kendo stick for no apparent reason, just because he likes the sound of it. And then you got the white phenom, who now is without the sands of time. The damage that has been done by Jack Moody and DOJ might not be recoverable. And when that scary entity that is the white phenom gets his hands on Jack Moody or DOJ, it could be lights out for everybody involved. But what kind of relationship is there between Jared Priest and the white phenom? Can they trust each other in all this? The ARC is absolutely everywhere. I mean, I'm seeing the hand gestures being thrown up at concert venues, at local taverns and restaurants and hot spots and truck stops and rest areas, and all across the United States and arenas around the globe. The ARC, Actions, Reactions, Consequences, is one of the strongest factions in all of crash-tested wrestling and maybe all of pro wrestling. C-Red has created an alliance that is built to last. Mr. 3% John Hudson, Renee Van Peebles, the CTW Women's Champion, Miles Silky Mercer, constantly improving and getting better in the ring. And then what a tag team force these two have already made. Rheon Skills, Willie the Bomb Richardson, among three teams that have advanced the Collision Course to compete in a #1 contenders match to see who will face the N-words for the CTW United States Tag Team titles at Ground Zero. And in that #1 contendership match, the ARC have to take on two teams that have lost to the N-words on multiple occasions. They should not even be in this match, but they have somehow qualified. I'm talking about Zero Gravity. I'm talking about the Rage. So Zero Gravity versus the Rage versus ARC with the #1 contendership of the CTW United States Tag Team Championships looming at stake. I have a feeling that the ARC is going to pull this one off. They had the most impressive victory against DDS and Lander at Reality Check, and I have a feeling going into Collision Course that they will be the heavy favorites going into Ground Zero to take on the N-words for the CTW United States Tag Team Championships. None of these three teams can defeat the N-words, even if the ARC were to move on and to go out to Ground Zero to face the N-words for the CTW United States Tag Team Championships. I have a feeling that there will be complaining and bickering between the two, and that the two of them will just self-implode on one another, and the N-words will still be the CTW United States Tag Team Champions come time for the end of Ground Zero. So who's going to step up to the plate and have the best performance at CTW's Collision Course? Who is going to walk out as the CTW Heavyweight Champion, the Tri-States Champion? And who knows what else can go down on this tremendous live event? I am the only person in Crash Tested Wrestling that tells you the actual truth about what's really going down. You need my analysis. You need me to provide you with all the information so that you can make informed informed decisions before you trek out to Midlothian, Illinois at the Don Preston Rec Center to check out the next CTW Live event. And that's taking place Saturday night, June the 24th. Don't forget, it's going to be on LRPlive.tv. You can watch it anywhere from around the world on your smart device. Just log in within 30 seconds and you're going to be in to see some of the greatest action in the entire world as Crash Tested Wrestling's Collision Course comes to you live, and you don't want to miss any of the action.